Within a dwelling unit, receptacle placement is governed by specific rules, most notably in bathrooms. In bathrooms, the National Electrical Code, Section 210.11, C2, dictates that there should be no more than one receptacle per linear foot along the wall. Additionally, at least one ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protected receptacle must be located within 3 feet of the outside edge of the basin, as specified in NEC Section 210.11, C3. This requirement is primarily for safety, reducing the risk of electrical shock in areas prone to moisture. However, outside of bathrooms in a dwelling unit, there is no specific limitation on the number of receptacles you can install. The placement should still adhere to the general requirements for spacing and accessibility, but the code doesn't restrict the quantity. Regarding detached or attached garages, there is also no restriction on the number of receptacles you can install. You are free to place as many receptacles as you deem necessary for your electrical needs. However, it's crucial to consider the overall capacity of the circuit and ensure that the load is properly balanced to avoid overloading the circuit. It is also important to remember additional considerations to ensure that the electrical system meets safety and functional standards. Firstly, all dwelling units must have a minimum number of receptacles based on the area of the unit, as per NEC Section 210.52. This ensures that occupants have adequate access to electrical outlets throughout the dwelling. Secondly, while there's no strict upper limit in many areas, the number of receptacles may be limited by the capacity of the circuit feeding them. Overloading a circuit can lead to trip breakers or, in severe cases, electrical fires. Thirdly, GFCI protection is required for receptacles in specific locations to mitigate the risk of electric shock. This includes bathrooms, kitchens, garages, and outdoor locations, as outlined in NEC Section 210.8. It is crucial to adhere to the GFCI requirements in these areas to ensure safety. To expand on the topic of circuit capacity, it's essential to understand how to calculate the load on a circuit. Each receptacle outlet is typically calculated at 180 volt amps, as per NEC guidelines. This value is used to determine the total load in the circuit and ensures it doesn't exceed the circuit's capacity. When planning the number of receptacles on a circuit, you should also consider the types of appliances or devices that will be plugged into them. High-power appliances, such as space heaters or power tools, can draw a significant amount of current and may require a dedicated circuit to avoid overloading the existing circuits. In addition to the number of receptacles, the spacing of receptacles is also a critical consideration. The NEC specifies that receptacles should be installed so that no point along the wall line is more than 6 feet from a receptacle outlet. This requirement ensures that extension cords are not used excessively, which can pose a safety hazard. The NEC also addresses the placement of receptacles in specific areas of the dwelling unit, such as kitchen countertops and island counters. These areas have specific requirements for the number and spacing of receptacles to accommodate the use of small appliances. When installing receptacles, it's crucial to use the correct wiring methods and materials. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the types of cables and conductors that can be used, as well as the proper methods for installing them. Using the wrong wiring methods can lead to electrical hazards and code violations. It's also important to ensure that all receptacles are properly grounded. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to protect against electric shock. The NEC specifies the requirements for grounding receptacles and other electrical equipment. When working with electrical systems, it's essential to prioritize safety. Always turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses, to protect yourself from electrical hazards. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. They have the knowledge and experience to ensure that the electrical system is installed safely and correctly. To delve deeper into GFCI protection, it's important to understand how these devices work. A GFCI monitors the current flowing in the circuit and compares it to the current returning. If there is a difference of more than a few milliamps, the GFCI will trip, cutting off power to the circuit. This can happen if current is leaking to ground, such as when someone touches a live wire while standing in water. GFCI protection is required in areas where there is a high risk of electric shock, such as bathrooms, kitchens, garages, and outdoor locations. These devices can significantly reduce the risk of injury or death from electrical shock. There are two main types of GFCI devices: receptacles and circuit breakers. GFCI receptacles are installed in place of standard receptacles and provide GFCI protection at that location. GFCI circuit breakers are installed in the electrical panel and provide GFCI protection for the entire circuit. Both types of GFCI devices are effective at preventing electric shock. When selecting GFCI devices, it's important to choose ones that are listed by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories or all. This ensures that the devices have been tested and meet safety standards. It's also important to follow the manufacturer's instructions when installing and testing GFCI devices. Regular testing of GFCI devices is recommended to ensure that they are functioning properly. This can be done by pressing the test button on the device. If the device trips, it is working correctly. If it doesn't trip, it may need to be replaced. In addition to GFCI protection, arc fault circuit interrupter or GFCI protection is also required in many areas of the dwelling unit. GFCIs are designed to protect against fires caused by arcing faults, which can occur when there is a loose connection or damaged wire. GFCIs monitor the current flowing in the circuit and detect the characteristics of an arc fault. When an arc fault is detected, the GFCI will trip, cutting off power to the circuit and preventing a fire. GFCI protection is typically required for branch circuits that supply power to living areas such as bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms. The NEC specifies the requirements for GFCI protection in dwelling units. When selecting GFCI devices, it's important to choose ones that are listed by a recognized testing laboratory. It's also important to follow the manufacturer's instructions when installing and testing GFCI devices. Both GFCI and GFCI protection are important safety features that can help to protect against electric shock and fires. By understanding the requirements for these devices and installing them correctly, you can help to ensure the safety of your home and family. Let's consider some specific examples of receptacle placement in a dwelling unit. In a kitchen, receptacles should be installed along the countertop so that no point along the countertop is more than 24 inches from a receptacle outlet. This ensures the small appliances can be used without the need for extension cords. Receptacles should also be installed on island counters and peninsula counters, following the requirements in the NEC. In a bathroom, at least one receptacle must be installed within 3 feet of the outside edge of the basin. This receptacle must be GFCI protected. Additional receptacles may be installed in the bathroom, but they must also be GFCI protected. In a living room, receptacles should be installed so that no point along the wall line is more than 6 feet from a receptacle outlet. This ensures that lamps and other electrical devices can be plugged in without the need for extension cords. In a bedroom, receptacles should be installed so that no point along the wall line is more than 6 feet from a receptacle outlet. GFCI protection is also required for bedroom circuits. In a garage, at least one receptacle must be installed. This receptacle must be GFCI protected. Additional receptacles may be installed in the garage, but they must also be GFCI protected if they are within reach of a wet location. When planning the electrical system for a dwelling unit, it's important to consider the future needs of the occupants. Installing additional receptacles and circuits can provide flexibility and convenience in the future. It's also important to choose high-quality electrical components that are designed to last. This can help to reduce the need for repairs and replacements in the future. Regular maintenance of the electrical system is also important. This includes inspecting receptacles, switches, and wiring for any signs of damage or wear. If any problems are found, they should be repaired promptly to prevent electrical hazards. By following these guidelines, you can help to ensure that the electrical system in a dwelling unit is safe, reliable, and meets the needs of the occupants. Always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about electrical work. They can provide expert advice and ensure that the work is done correctly. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity. Turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical components and use appropriate personal protective equipment. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. It is recommended that any and all electrical work needed should be performed by qualified professionals. Always abide to the local and national codes to ensure safe and proper electrical installation.